Welcome to the Akashic Library.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into a massive idea, one that might just completely flip how you think about personal growth. We're talking about the secret to getting more out of life. And here's a spoiler. It has almost nothing to do with asking for it. Instead, it's all about becoming more. So let's start with something we all get. It's this deep human feeling, this quest for more. More success, more joy, more opportunities. It's a huge driving force for pretty much all of us. I mean, really think about it for a second. Have you ever had that feeling deep down in your gut that you're on the edge of something bigger, that you're truly ready for that next level? Of course you have. But how we approach that feeling, well, that's where things get really interesting. And that brings us to what we can call the two-scoop problem. And trust me, this is a super common mistake we all make when we decide we want that big expansion from the universe. This quote right here, it just perfectly captures that mindset. We kind of stand there, holding out our hands, and we just ask for more. We announce to the world, okay, I'm ready now. Send it over. But what if just asking isn't the right strategy at all? Okay, check out this metaphor because it makes everything so clear. Imagine you're asking for 2 huge scoops of ice cream, but you're holding a tiny little 1-scoop cone. See the problem? It's not what you're asking for. It's your capacity to hold it. If the universe actually gave you those 2 scoops right now, they'd just end up as a puddle on the ground. It's not about your desire. It's about the size of your container. So if asking isn't the real answer, what is? Well, the core principle here is that your external reality, everything you see and experience, is a direct mirror of your internal state. What you see on the outside is just a perfect reflection of what's happening on the inside. Let's define a key term here, your level of consciousness. Now, this isn't some weird, mystical concept. Think of it like your personal operating system. It's the sum total of your thoughts, your beliefs, your fears, and most importantly, your proven, demonstrated ability to handle what's already on your plate. So think about the challenges you're dealing with right now. The frustrations, the things you complain about, the situations that give you that anxious feeling. Those very issues are what anchor you at your current level. If you're constantly living in a state of fear or negativity or complaining about your situation, you're essentially sending a signal that says, this is my capacity. This is all I can handle right now. So here's the crucial point. If you want to see a different reflection in the mirror of reality, you have to change what you're putting in front of it. You have to elevate your consciousness above those current issues. That right there is the real work of expansion. Okay, so that leads us to the big question, right? How do you actually do that? How do you expand your vessel, your container, your little 1-scoop cone? Well, the answer is in this simple but really profound idea. This is such a powerful way to think about it. Imagine the universe isn't a vending machine you ask things from, but more like an incredibly attentive server at a really nice restaurant. You know that amazing server who sees your water glass is half empty and is already walking over to refill it without you even having to ask? The universe works just like that. The moment you create more internal space by solving your problems, by upgrading your mindset, reality literally rushes in to fill that new space. You don't have to ask for the refill, you just have to create an empty glass. Here's another way to think about it. You can't just walk onto a soccer field and ask to play against a world-class athlete like Messi. You would get destroyed. The expansion has to come first. You've got to put in the work, build the skills, and train until you become a person who belongs in that game. You become someone who can handle it. So let's bring this all home. We've talked about the trap of just asking, this idea of reality as a mirror, and how the real work is all about expanding your internal capacity. This is the fundamental shift. This is the whole game. It changes everything when you stop focusing on what you want to get and start focusing on who you need to become. Become the person who can handle the success, the opportunity, the relationship you want. Go out there and build a 2-scoop cone. And that's the final thought I really want to leave you with. It's a question to take with you, to really chew on. Don't just ask if you're ready for more. Ask yourself this. Are you actively building a mindset, a skill set, a vessel that is truly worthy of everything you're asking for? Because the answer to that question changes everything. Thanks for spending this time with me.
Your life unfolds through a mix of destiny and choice, understanding which is which changes everything. Next, discover what your deepest worries reveal in Fear is Your Portal.